my high school class project, my teacher told me it's unrealistic being a CEO. It's been my dream to be a CEO since I was 10. So I told her, it is realistic. Follow me on my journey to learn what it takes to become a CEO. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Realistic CEO podcast. Today I'm here with Megan. How are you doing today, Megan?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Very happy and excited to talk with you.
Before I get started, I just got to make a huge announcement. I officially am the CEO of my own nonprofit, the Realistic Lemonade nonprofit. It's the beginning of a great journey that I can't wait to experience. So I'm glad to be able to have Megan on as somebody that's already been in the nonprofit industry to help me understand what it takes to actually run a successful nonprofit. So for the first question is, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, how you got to where you are today?
My goodness, that is a big question. The first memory I ever had of wanting to be in the seat I'm in today was going down 91 with my father, who at that time was a manager of a body shop in Springfield, and seeing what's now Mass Mutual building, saying someday I'm going to work there. Not having any idea what that was. It was a skyscraper in the big city. I'm going to work there and I'm going to help. No idea what that really meant as a young child. And lo and behold, with a lot of dedication and understanding that all I ever wanted to do was help, I'm working in the building across the street. So doing exactly what I said I was going to do as a young child, not really knowing outside of helping the community what that meant.
How did you get to become the CEO of the United Way Pioneer Battle?
That is an interesting story, and it was a journey that I never expected to be in or sitting in this seat. Actually, becoming a CEO was never something that I wanted to do. I was always very interested in operations, building a business, the behind the scenes of running a business. I went to school for accounting. I have always been in the finance realm. Nonprofit accounting has always been something that was so interesting to me. I was able to use skill sets that I had trained so long for, but in the community to do well for the community. So I started at the United Way 13 years ago as a staff accountant and slowly grew in the role. And maybe 5 years ago, a mentor I had poked and questioned, would you ever be interested in becoming an executive director? The vision you have, the experience in the community, the passion to help the people, you have it. So nope, I want to stick with numbers. Finance, I can help. I don't want to be a CEO. Absolutely, positively not. But working with individuals in the community and mentorship just gave me that extra push and confidence that I never had. So I don't think that I ever thought about becoming a CEO because I didn't think I had what it took.
So when you say you didn't think you had what it took, was it more at the leadership side of it, or you just didn't think you were ready for a position like that?
I didn't have the confidence to do the work. I knew I could do it because I was doing it behind the scenes in prior positions and as an interim CEO, but I lacked the confidence to do the job.
So honestly, that's something that I've been working on, especially this past year. I've started my own business to now that running the nonprofit. So how were you able to get over that and become confident enough to take the role and say, yeah, I can do this?
For me, it really is having the right people in your life. And that's not just family, not just mentorship, but a community at large. When you're working with a community that sees your potential and sees the difference that you're making, they're there to cheer you on. When you don't think you can do it, they're there. When you fall down, because you will, it's part of the journey, they're there to pick you up, dust you off, and say, it's okay. We all make mistakes. Learn from it and keep going. The community needs you. And it just Every day gets a little bit easier. You feel a little bit more, all right, I've got the footing underneath me. I can do this. If I make a mistake, it's okay. People aren't going to laugh at me. People aren't going to not believe in me. It is okay to stumble. Get back up, ask for help, keep going.
What is some advice that you can give to somebody like myself that's just starting off their own nonprofit?
Nonprofit, like every other business, is a business. So the best piece of advice I was given is ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to ask for support, because when you're starting a business or you're in a new position or you're a leader, you can feel like I have to know it all because I'm a leader. And if I'm the leader and I don't know it all, nobody's going to believe in me. No one knows it all. You need help. Ask for it. There's nothing wrong with needing help. It shows that you have enough strength to ask for support. And you need it. I need it. Everyone needs it.
So what do you see like the biggest differences between successful nonprofits versus some that just don't work out?
The most successful nonprofits that I've had the privilege of either being a part of or working with, it's passion. You can teach skills. You can teach anyone how to do a task, how to create output. You cannot truly live, breathe, eat the mission unless your passion aligns with the work. If you're not in alignment with the work that you're doing, it's just a job. It's not a career.
So honestly, I've been studying and like really hearing how people talk about nonprofits and how they run it. And like the biggest thing that I've always heard people talking about is grant writing and how important it is to make sure it's right. So how do I improve in
Yes.
grant writing?
Okay, so grant writing, that's a big one. Right now, it's a huge topic. Grant writing, what I will say is when you're reading a grant application and they want you to fill in the narrative part, put yourself in a position of why. Like, why am I here? Why am I doing this? Who in the community needs this help, needs the message? And just put your heart in it. It has to be from a place of love and passion and alignment to who you are. You can put a lot of words on paper, but if it's not aligned with the passion for the work that you're doing, the grant reviewers, they're going to understand it. They're going to see it. At United Way, we historically have been a grant making organization. Millions of dollars have been given out through the United Way to nonprofit organizations. And reading over grant applications, you can immediately see in the narrative if the passion is there. Are we here to just do the work and get the funding, or are we here to make an impact in the community? And it shines in grant writing.
So going beyond grant writing, let's say there's 10 applications, you're like, okay, I like all 10 of these. What is the biggest difference? And okay, this is the one I'm going to pick.
A big portion of grants, especially if you're going to apply for grants locally, the local foundations, is the relationship building that's outside the application. So you really want to spend time getting to know the community, understanding who the funders are, what speaks to them. People give to people. So networking, mentorship, it all plays into the funding of an organization. There are wonderful organizations. There's hundreds in Springfield, nonprofit organizations. And the executive director or the CEO, if they're not in the community, being a part of the community, talking about the work, helping the community, you're less likely to be funded from organizations.
So you going from like an accountant role to the CEO.
Yep.
What has been like the biggest challenge that you had to face changing roles?
Going from behind the scenes to being out in the public eye. It was honestly half the reason I did not want to apply for the job. I did not want to be out in the public. at all. I'm a very social person. I love talking to people. I love the work that we do, but I was so terrified to be out in the community as the face of the United Way. It almost stopped me from putting my name in for the position because it was so scary. And I always say this to my children when they're nervous, the first day of school, a basketball game, a lacrosse game. What do we do, guys? They look at me. We do it scared. So I had to tell myself over and over, I'm getting goosebumps. Megan, we do it scared. Okay, Meg, do it scared. You're fine. Just keep doing it over and over. And it's still scary. And there are days where I have to go out and present at a forum and I still get nervous about it. But it's good. If I wasn't nervous, I shouldn't still be here.
So, how long have you been? Was it like something that you had to do all your life, or was it more of now that you're in a role of the CEO where you're like, okay, now I have this position, or was it like more like you had that kind of nerves when you're public speaking, whether it was like a classroom, or like where did you like get that?
So, yes and no. Public speaking, I don't think is natural for anyone initially, unless it's about something that you know very well. Prior to the CEO role, if I had to go into a board meeting and present about financials, no problem. I wouldn't think twice about it. I would go in, present, and be done. Still, a year and a half into the role as a CEO, when I have to go into a board meeting and present about a mission moment or request support from the board of directors, I get nervous because it's something that doesn't come natural to me. So getting over the hump of what feels natural to pushing beyond your comfort zone has been an incredible learning experience, but you just have to continue to do it over and over. It's like riding a bike. You don't get on the bike without training wheels the first time and expect to just take off. No, you're going to fall. You're going to scrape your knees. You're probably going to cry. There were days I left work crying because I didn't think I could do it.
So, what has been your biggest challenges that you notice day to day for running a nonprofit as a CEO?
My biggest challenge. My biggest challenge running the United Way has been spending too much time worrying about how the community views me as a leader versus the work that the United Way is doing in the community. To take the time to sit back and reflect that it doesn't matter what people think about how you're leading the organization. What matters is what you're doing in the community and what impact you're making on the population you're serving. So when I have situations like that where I'm just worried this organization doesn't like me for X reason, or I'm not doing enough for the volunteers in the community, I always take a step back, go out into our service center and meet with the clients we serve to refill my cup. You're doing the right thing. The organization's doing the right thing. The staff, everybody is passionate. You're making a difference, and just redirect, because as a leader, it's not about you. It is never about you. It's about the work, it's about the community, and it's about the difference that you're making.
How are you able to make sure that you're having the mindset of realizing that what you're doing is not about you, but about the people that you're serving, whether it's the people working for you or the community that you're working for?
For me personally, being of service has always been a part of my fabric from as far back as I can remember. As a young child, on Christmas and Thanksgiving, I used to volunteer at the rescue mission. So serving the community, Springfield primarily, my entire life has been who I am. Leading the charge is very different than being a part of the work. You have to be very realistic with yourself and intentional when leading just not a nonprofit, but a business as a whole. You are what keeps it together, and the way in which you carry yourself day to day and interact with your community and your staff. It, it's part of all of the work. It is the culture of the organization. So every decision you make, every email you send, it is about the organization as a whole and the community as a whole when it's a nonprofit, because ultimately you are here to make the community a better place.
So leadership, did it come natural or was it something that you had to work on?
If you ask my family, it was natural. I don't I don't feel like it was natural. I've had to do a lot of not trainings, but mentorship, because what you what I felt and what I think a lot of other leaders I've worked with, you go into a leadership position and you feel like you have to know it all. You have to know how to do it all. You have to know how to manage the people. You have to know how to manage the funding. You have to know how to manage the mission. You have to know how to manage your board of directors. When in reality, you're learning like everybody else in your organization. You have to continually be a part of learning and find a mentor and get the support you need. Just because you're a leader in one aspect of your life doesn't mean that you don't need help cultivating yourself as a leader.
So I like how you just brought up the board because I haven't had my first board meeting yet. So I want to know like what I need to do to prepare and also what I need to do in the meeting to make sure that it's like a successful meeting.
Okay, so board service is a huge part of the nonprofit world. You're the leader, you're the CEO, but ultimately the board of directors governs all the work of a nonprofit. So they make the final decision. You, as the CEO, are the one that does all the day-to-day work, but the governance, the policies, all of that is the board of directors. The best way to begin your board is I would invest in training for not just your board of directors, but you yourself as the CEO of your new nonprofit. One of the neat services that United Way provides to the community is free board level training. We call it On Board, which I'm sure you may have heard of. We offer all sorts of support free of charge to local nonprofits. So as a leader in the community, I would love to help you with your first board meeting. There's governance, there's committee structures, there's bylaws, all sorts of different info, and United Way provides that to all nonprofits free of charge.
So how do I get in contact to make sure that I can get into it?
You're talking to her right now. I can help you do it.
Okay, I'll connect after so I can get everything I need.
Absolutely, yeah. And board structure is so important. You need a strong board behind you to get your message out into the community. They are your biggest advocates. A strong board behind you will make you a successful leader and CEO.
Thank you. So I have a pretty solid board, I would say, in terms of the people. So how I did is I found people that were already helping me and believed in my mission. I wanted them to be on my board first so that I have a whole bunch of people that truly believe in the mission, but also they seen what I was doing already this year. So that's who I invited to be on my
That's
board.
perfect.
Yeah.
And then just building the structure out around that passion. You can't teach it. You cannot teach passion. The skills, that's no problem. You can teach them the skills. So the structure and the governance.
So at the end of each meeting, like what is like the main goal that you want to have when you're faced with the meeting?
The main goal, it depends on the structure of your board, but my recommendation, especially for a new small nonprofit, when you lead every board meeting, each board member or the board at large should have an action item that you want from them. So, for example, I love to start board meetings with a mission moment to let the board know something exciting that has happened in the organization since the last board meeting so that they can go into the community and talk about your work, get people excited about your work. And then they know that they have a task or duty that they need to do to further move your mission along.
Okay, that makes sense.
They're there to help as the leader.
So for you, when you found people for your board, like what was kind of like the thought process behind the type of people that you want on your board?
When creating board seats within the United Way's board, it's always important as the CEO and as the board to look at the different job descriptions that you need for the board. So it's good to have someone on the board that has a background in finance so they can help you with your finances. It's good to have someone on the board that understands marketing and public relations because you can lean into them to help with that. It's good to have someone on the board that has an interest in or experiencing human resources. Ultimately, your board is a volunteer group that you can lean into to help support the work of your nonprofit free of charge. So you want to create sort of an infrastructure that individuals on the board fill seats, job duties that will help you grow your business. Nonprofit is a nonprofit, but you're a business. So you will still need to raise money, make money, things like that.
On the other side, when it comes to building a group of staff to working for the nonprofit, what are you looking for inside the individual? Not only their skills, but also talk about passion. So what kind of people are you looking for?
So for me, building a staff, which I've had to do the last 2 years, really recreate what United Way was and fill different seats within the organization. I learned the hard way that it's not all about the job and it's not all about the skill sets of the individual that you're either interviewing or hiring. It's about creating a culture within the organization that all employees feel welcome. They feel like they can be who they are. They are passionate about the mission, and you're all on the same page because you spend so much time with people at work. You typically spend more time with people you work with than people you live with. So you want to create a culture of openness. You want to create a culture of equity. You want to create an inclusive culture, and you want it to be fun. You spend so much time together. So being really intentional about creating a culture when you create staff is so important. Skills are skills. Passion, you have to have it. And culture is huge. You can't fake it.
So what are some ways that you're able to have it so it's an environment where you're productive, but also a way to make sure that they feel welcomed and have an open environment?
Yeah. So we're very fortunate because we operate probably 60% of our work volunteerism. So many of the employees that I have now that are full-time started with us as volunteers. So they started as a volunteer, got a feel for the work, a feel for the environment, the culture, and as jobs opened up, volunteers would apply for the position. So we already knew how they worked, their personality, the way in which they fit with the community of United Way. You can feel it. You feel the energy, you feel the passion, the work ethic. We've really had a really successful adventure with utilizing volunteers as a pipeline for employment.
So if you were to have to restart in the industry out of nonprofits, how would you successfully have a nonprofit run it in 90 days?
Oh my gosh, in 90 days? I hope you have your 501c3.
Yes.
Okay. Because that takes more than 90 days. Because you have a reputation in the community. People know you, know your work, understand the value that you bring to the community. Spending time out in the community working with individuals that do like work would be step one, a mentor. 100%. You need a mentor, many mentors to set you up for success, knowing the business, knowing the work, knowing the hurdles. There's so many, what you don't know, you don't know. And I've made the mistake of not reaching out to ask for a mentor. Oh, I know how to do this. It's a business. I've done this before. No, it's very different. It's all about relationships. Spend as much time in relationship with the community where you want to grow your nonprofit.
For you, what does that look like when you're talking about working with the community? So what exactly are you doing to make sure that you're building a relationship with your community?
I try to go to every event possible that aligns with the work that the United Way does. So we do a lot of work in the food insecurity industry. So anything that has an impact on the way in which individuals are in our community are being fed. Any event that has to do with that, be there, listen, a lot of listening. Absorb what other individuals that have more experience than you are doing. Listening is a huge part of learning in a new business venture. I would definitely do the best you can to get out there and listen.
If you were able to go back in time travel and give advice to your 19-year-old self, what is some of the advice that you would give?
Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You're going to make mistakes. You need to make mistakes. It's part of the journey. If you don't struggle, how do you know what it feels like to be successful? You're going to fall. Get back up. Ask for help. Everybody has fallen down. Just don't let fear stop you. You're always going to be afraid. Don't let fear get in the way, because at every step of the game, no matter how seasoned you are as a leader, something new is going to happen and you're going to be scared. Have a person or people or community that you know are there to help you when you fall.
So how can I talk about mentors? So how would you be able to go out and find a mentor that you know could help you?
I hate spotlighting United Way. But we offer a mentorship program here where we do mentor matching. So if you want a mentor, our community impact team will match you with an individual that is looking to mentor that is in the same sector that you're in. And you just spend time together learning about each other. We match you. It's not a good match. Match you with someone else. We do coffee hours every second Thursday of the month from 8 to 10:30, just to come together, no agenda, to just meet other individuals that are either current leaders, aspiring leaders, or interested in potentially being a leader in the community. And we just talk. It's all about just being open, honest, and being in community together. Put yourself out there. It's scary. I remember being much older than you, going into networking events and being a wallflower and so scared to talk to people. Like, nobody wants to talk to me. Why would they want to talk to me? I have nothing to say. But it's not that you might not have anything to say, but you're there to learn. So name it. I'm here because I want to learn about what it's like to be a CEO of a nonprofit. I just started yesterday. What are the 10 best things about being a nonprofit leader? What are the 10 worst things? Tell me.
So can you tell me what
10 worst things? Yes, I will tell you. Number one worst thing about being a nonprofit: funding. I feel like many nonprofits, I don't want to say every, but running a nonprofit, you're fundraising every day, all day. And it can be hard. It can be very hard. But if you believe in the work, you just keep doing it. I've been here 13 years, and there are days where I'm just like, why? Why are you still doing this? Why are you still asking for money? Why? But the next day, you get back up, you look at what you've done and how many people you're helping, get back out there, and you keep doing it.
So fundraise, why is that such like a pain in the behind for you, especially in nonprofit work?
I think it depends on what type of nonprofit that you are in. The United Way specifically, we are a nonprofit service provider. So we do not have a service that the government funds. So every dollar to keep this organization moving along is donor dollars. Every single one. We don't sell a product. We don't have state contracts. So because of generous donors and generous foundations and corporate entities, that is how we keep the United Way going every single day. If people stopped donating to the United Way, we would turn the lights off. It would be gone. So it's what keeps the lights on and the services going into the community.
I just have a couple more questions.
Go ahead. I'm here all day for you.
So in the book, Realistic CEO, Tony, he talked about the LBW, the long, lonely, boring work.
Yes.
So can you tell us
There's a
about
lot
the
of it.
LBW in your career?
Yes. The late nights, the sitting in this office when everybody else is gone. As the leader, there are things you do not want to do, but you have to put the time into the work. It's an investment. It's not a short, quick, overnight success. Maybe it is for some people. It wasn't for me. There are a lot of behind the scenes things. Like there's so much paperwork. There's annual reports. There's financials that you have to do. There's staff reviews, paying the bills, all the things that you don't necessarily know you're going to have to do, that you spend countless hours on end doing. And it is lonely. There are a lot of things as a leader that you can't talk to your employees about. It can be very lonely at the top. So find other leaders to support you and talk to about the long, lonely, boring work, because we're all doing it.
So can you tell us your favorite experience that you've had so far in this past 13 years of we working here?
My God, favorite experience in the past 13 years. Oh my God, there's been so many. Honestly, the best experience that I've had is recently with one of the youth leaders that was a part of our program in the last year, came to the United Way to work for a 6-week program and wasn't really thrilled about having to do it. Seeing the change that one organization, one individual can make on a young adult's life, and how that can change the trajectory of who that person is and where they're going, has made the biggest impact on me as a person at this juncture in my life. That it really only takes one person, one conversation, and one opportunity to change somebody's life. And being able to do that every day here keeps me going. I don't know if I'll be here for 13 more years, but it's why I'm here still. That the small wins that just snowball into change.
So how are you able to come back from the losses? I know there you do have times where there's a lot of losses stacking up on in a row. So how are you able to go through those days where you see just loss, but then you get that big win and you realize it's all worth it? So how are you able to go through those losses?
I think it's part mentality, knowing that that's life. It won't always be successes. And knowing what losses you need to really take a deep dive into to understand where you need to recalibrate or level set the business. Because ultimately, there will always be failures, and there are going to be things within any business, any nonprofit, that you're going to have to sunset. And knowing the right time to do that is key to making sure that business stays relevant, stays successful. Stepping back and looking at it not emotionally, which can be very difficult when it's a business that you've started or you've been with for so long that it feels like it's yours. To remove the emotion from those failures is very difficult, but take a step back and really understand and look at, how do I pivot to not make that same mistake again? And then hopefully after you pivot, you start to see the successes. It's a cycle.
Like in those moments, like what has been like the biggest way that you realize helps you go past the losses in a way where you're able to not be emotional and, like you said, step back.
Step back, mentorship. Finding a sounding board, whether it's a single person or a group of people, an advisory group, a cohort of individuals that are like-minded or in the same industry as you, to talk about it, to like vent, not let it out. So you're not just looking through your lens. Other people are seeing it from different viewpoints to help teach you or let you understand things that you're not seeing, because you can't see it all. Having different viewpoints is very helpful, and then it gives you a moment to digest it. So then you can make an informed, unemotional decision on how to move forward. Because it's very easy to be like, nope, I'm done. It's very easy. And early on in my career, there were a lot of emotional reactions and responses to situations at work where things could have definitely been different had I known to reach out to a mentor, talk to someone on my board of directors before I made a decision.
So you came on it helped me so much today. So what are some ways that I'm able to help you?
Actually, I would love for you to be a part of our Youth Leaders in Action, to speak to and help these young adults along their journey that are facing exactly what you face. You use an opportunity to create a mission so people don't have to deal with it alone. I would love it if you could work with our youth and talk to them and be a support system for them in times of distress. And everyone is up against adversity in one situation or another, probably every day. And to have an individual, a young man like them, to talk to them like, hey, I've been there. Look what I've done because someone said I couldn't. Look at me.
So
I'm a success because someone said no.
thank you. So how could we make this happen so that I'm in the I have the opportunity to help you, like you said?
I'm going to introduce you to the group right now.
Thank you.
And then you're going to be on my forever list of reaching out, asking you to come in and talk
Definitely.
to these kids because they need someone. Everybody needs a person that they feel like is like that. And when I first work with the youth groups, they look at me, no, miss, no, you're not like us. I'm like, okay, all right, guys, sure, I'll be here tomorrow to talk to you. But it's just having someone that's walked in the same shoes as you, talking to you and telling you that you're going to be okay. I'm here to advocate for you. I've been in the same shoes as you, is huge. And it's so important. And it's not something that many do.
I just have one more question.
Go ahead.
And it's, what's one fun fact about yourself that nobody really knows?
One fun fact that nobody knows. It used to be that I always wanted to drive a Zamboni, but I told everyone at the Thunderbirds that last year when we went. So that's not a fun fact that nobody knows. Let's see. Fun fact. This is a little embarrassing, actually. My favorite pastime is vacuuming. I love vacuuming. So anyone that sees this, that knows me, they're going to be like, oh my God, she said it. I will burn a vacuum out in a year. I love it. It's calming. It's like the Zamboni, same thing. The lines on the ice, the lines in the carpet. Embarrassing, but I guess that's a fun fact about me that nobody knows, but now everyone will.
I appreciate you for coming on. I do truly appreciate it, so thank you.
No, thank you. And any way that I can help you with the nonprofit launch, let me know. We're here to help, and We do it for a lot of nonprofits at United Way. It's one of the services that we provide. Where I live.
Thank you.
Doors always open.
I appreciate that.
Thank you.
And I thank every single one of you for all the support that you have shown me in my journey of becoming the realistic CEO in this past year. So ways that you can support even more is by going on to Realistic CEO website, which is www.realisticceo.com, and ordering your copy of the Realistic CEO book. I truly appreciate all the support. See you in the next episode. Peace.